US weather forecasters have warned that the storm approaching Louisiana could be more powerful than Hurricane Katrina, which devastated New Orleans 16 years ago. Ida is expected to make landfall in the next few hours. Evacuation orders are in place for large areas of the state while tens of thousands of people are on the move to get to safer areas. Neda Tawfiq reports from New Orleans.
In New Orleans, residents prepare for the worst, even as they hope for the best. It's 16 years to the day since Hurricane Katrina devastated the city. On this unforgettable anniversary, the region is bracing for the landfall of what could be the strongest storm to hit Louisiana in more than a century.
Locked everything down, moved everything that could blow away, filled up all the vehicles, put everything in the freezer, have everything ready to go in case we're without power a few days, because it looks like it's coming right at us.
It's just one of them things you got to live with when you live down here. So it's going to come no matter what, so we're going to do the best we can.
Ida's growing power took officials by surprise. Many rushed to leave the area, but time ran out to organize a mandatory mass evacuation of the city's 390,000 residents. Just 2 days ago, the storm was a tropical depression.
Your window of time is closing. It is rapidly closing. And just like we said yesterday, by the time you go to bed tonight, you need to be where you intend to ride the storm out, and you need to be as prepared as you can be, because weather will start to deteriorate very quickly.
It's expected to bring winds as high as 130 miles per hour, a storm surge as high as 15 feet in some areas, and extreme flash flooding, conditions that could threaten life, communities, and key infrastructure. Memories of the pain of Hurricane Katrina still haunt the city. The failure of federal levees left 80% of New Orleans underwater. The storm killed more than 1,800 people and left millions homeless here and along the Gulf Coast. Officials stress that the city's hurricane protections have vastly improved since then. If Ida hits at full strength, it will be a significant test of that system. Neda Tawfiq, BBC News, New Orleans.
Well, we are just a few hours from the point at which Ida is expected to make landfall. Evacuation orders in place for large areas of the state. Now, this report from Thomasz Schafenacker of BBC Weather.
Hurricane Ida is bearing down on the coast of Louisiana, an extremely dangerous hurricane. And here it is on the satellite picture. You can see a Catherine wheel of storms swirling about an eye, the centre of the storm. And just in these last few frames, if you look carefully, you can see how bright and symmetrical that shield of cloud is around the eye. That means it's an ideal textbook hurricane. It's flourished over the warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico, hence it's so powerful. And here are the key messages. Landfall Sunday afternoon local time as a Category 4 with a storm surge of 4 meters or more in the worst area and 200 to 500 millimeters of rain brought by this storm as it moves across the region. So here it is, the point of impact as it reaches the mouth of the Mississippi River, and the winds swirling around it also push that mound of water, the storm surge, up to 4 meters at the worst. So the storm is going to roar ashore and then move northwards through the course of the next few days. But on top of that, of course, it's a very hot, a very humid part of the world. So with all the flooding, the power outages, it's going to be a very nasty place once this storm moves away.
I've been talking to Jayjack, a Stormchaser monitoring the situation from the city of Thibodaux in Louisiana.
So right now, it's things are still relatively calm. The winds are starting to pick up a little bit, so we are starting to see those outer bands are starting to make their way here towards the coast, and that eye is well within range of radar. You can see it's a very mean-looking, vicious-looking eye. Dangerous Cat 4, high-end Cat 4 hurricane. It's still intensifying too. It has the potential to become a Cat 5 hurricane even, so that's not out of the question. And I'm here in Thibodaux. Currently, it looks like it might be a little bit to the west of the eye, still in the eye, but on that western eye. But my preference is, I'm an extreme storm chaser, so I want to try and get right into that worst damage, not damage, but the worst winds, the most power, but which obviously causes damage. I'm going to try and stay out of the damage, but try and document what happens here. And so I may need to shift a little bit to the east. I'm looking at Raceland Louisiana, but all this area here from anywhere from Morgan City to New Orleans is under the gun here, right in the path of this dangerous storm. Category 4 could go Category 5.
So you are doing exactly the opposite to thousands of people. Why?
You know, it's just I've always been fascinated with weather. I've had a love for weather there. I like to experience weather. And, you know, my goal is to be that guy on the ground that's capturing what's happening. They're documenting this for history, for people in the future. When they come along, they can see what some of these past hurricanes did, watch my footage. You know, I'm also trying to give that view to the world, you know, showing what's happening on the ground. As long as I can, we're probably going to lose cell service here. I'll lose my ability to communicate with the world. I do have GPS capability, so I can contact loved ones and my employer, my radar, in case we do lose power here. But this is what I do. You know, I like being in it. I like feeling it. I like trying to be that person that's documenting it.
Jayjack there.